They thought he was invisible, just a janitor's son with no place in a courtroom. But when the judge mocked him and dared him to find a missing file, everything changed. Before cameras and a restless jury, he uncovered the one document that exposed years of lies. The promise was clear: if he succeeded, the judge would resign and pay millions. Would the boy humiliated in silence rewrite the fate of justice itself? The gavel struck, and silence fell heavy across the courtroom. Judge Whitmore leaned forward, his robe flowing like a shadow, eyes fixed on the boy seated beside his mother's janitor's cart. 3 paralegals and 2 attorneys combed these records and found nothing, he sneered, his words crisp and cruel. And you think a janitor's son can uncover what they missed? Fine. Prove it. Find the missing file, and I will step down from this bench and pay every cent of the damages, millions of dollars. Fail, and your family will never work in this courthouse again. Gasps rippled through the gallery. The boy's hands tightened on the folder in front of him, his mother's gaze dropping in quiet dread. For a moment, even the ceiling fan seemed to pause. Then a laugh rose from the prosecution's table, slicing the air like a blade. The boy's chest tightened as the laughter echoed, sharp and dismissive. One attorney muttered just loud enough for the jury to hear, "He can barely read case law, and now he thinks he'll find a file." More chuckles followed, the kind that cut deeper than words. His mother's hand trembled against the cart handle, whispering, "Please, let's go before they throw us out." But he didn't move. He remembered his father's voice, long gone but steady in memory: "The truth always leaves a trace. You just have to look where no one else bothers to." He lifted his head, locking eyes with Judge Whitmore. "Give me access to the archive." The courtroom shifted. The judge smirked, leaning back with feigned amusement. "You want to embarrass yourself in front of the entire gallery? Be my guest." He gestured toward the stack of boxes at the side of the room, daring him to try. The boy stepped forward, heart pounding, each footfall echoing like a challenge. The courtroom lights flickered as the boy knelt beside the mountain of files, pulling box after box toward him. Papers rustled like a storm, each sheet marked with dates, stamps, and signatures. The jury leaned forward, whispers rippling across the benches. Judge Whitmore tapped his gavel impatiently. "Enough theater. You won't find anything my staff missed." The boy froze. A slip of paper, thinner than the rest, was wedged between 2 folders. His breath caught. He pulled it free, an index card with a handwritten note: "Case 147B, settlement withheld." The gallery erupted in gasps. An attorney shot to his feet. "That file was sealed years ago." The boy rose slowly, holding the document aloft. "Or hidden. Someone didn't want this seen." Whitmore's smirk faltered, his knuckles widening around the gavel. For the first time, doubt flickered in his eyes as cameras flashed, capturing the moment power began to slip from his grasp. For a long beat, no one moved. The paper trembled slightly in the boy's hand, but his voice did not. "This file proves the settlement was never honored. Families were denied millions they were owed." Murmurs spread like wildfire through the gallery, reporters scribbling furiously. Judge Whitmore slammed his gavel. "That document is irrelevant," he barked, but his voice cracked under the weight of the evidence. The independent legal consultant, Dr. Reynolds, stood from the back row. "No, Your Honor," she said firmly, stepping into the center of the courtroom. "This file is valid. It changes the case entirely." Gasps cut through the air. The boy's mother pressed her hand over her mouth, tears welling. The judge's promise, his arrogant dare, hung in the silence. 90 faces stared at him, waiting. His own words turned into shackles: step down, pay millions, or be branded a liar before the nation. The gavel slipped from Whitmore's hand and clattered against the bench, the sound echoing like a verdict of its own. His face drained of color as every reporter's camera turned toward him. Slowly, he rose, each movement heavy with defeat. As promised, he muttered, voice hollow, I resign from this bench effective immediately. And I will pay the full damages, every cent. The gallery erupted, half in shock, half in applause. The boy placed the recovered file on the clerk's desk with steady hands, his shoulders squared for the first time that day. His mother wept openly, gripping his arm as though afraid he might disappear. Reporters shouted questions, but he spoke only once, clear enough for all to hear: justice isn't about power. It's about truth, and truth will always leave a trace. The cameras captured it all: a janitor's son walking out of court, carrying nothing but dignity, leaving behind a fallen judge and a restored promise.